Well, that didn't disappoint. It is a film adaptation of Stephen King's novel of the same name. The movie is directed by Andy Muschietti and stars Jaeden Lieberher, Jeremy Ray Taylor, Sophia Lillis, Finn Wolfhard, Chosen Jacobs, Jack Dylan Grazer, Wyatt Oleff, and Bill Skarsgard as Pennywise the Dancing Clown. In the late 1980s, a malevolent, shape-shifting being, sometimes known as Pennywise, terrorizes the town of Derry, Maine, and a group of outcast kids affectionately known as the Losers Club must face their fears in an attempt to destroy it. As you can tell from the t-shirt that I'm wearing, I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I've read it probably 3 or 4 times, and I've been following the production of this movie for years now, since back when Cary Fukunaga was supposed to direct and Will Poulter was going to play Pennywise, to him leaving the project and Andy Muschietti coming on and bringing in Bill Skarsgard and then Finn Wolfhard, and I've been waiting a long time. And I'm so happy to say that now that I've seen it, I loved it. One thing the movie does really well, it's a real meshing of different kinds of genres. Like, yeah, it's a horror film, and it's pretty scary, I'll get to that later, but it's also in a lot of ways a comedy. There are a lot of really funny moments in this flick. I was having many good laughs. But on top of that, it's also like a very heartfelt coming-of-age film. Now, trying to hit all of those points could have easily been a mess, but somehow Andy Muschietti managed to pull it all together, and it really, really worked. And I think one of the strongest successes of this film is outside of the horror elements, just when it's the Losers Club, just kids being kids struggling to deal with wacky parents and bullies and just trying to find their place in the world. The acting in this film is excellent. I've been saying for a long time, if the losers didn't have a good chemistry, this movie is dead on its feet. Now, any movie needs good chemistry, but particularly, like, the chemistry of the kids in the book is so important. They all killed it. They were all fantastic. And you could really tell that they're friends in real life. That really shone through on the screen, and it really, really worked. The banter between Eddie and Richie, they're always at each other's throats, and Richie's always making Eddie's mom jokes. It's really, really funny. And the romance between Bill and Bev, it's not overpowering, but it's very, very believable. I gotta say though, when it comes to the Losers Club, the real heavy hitter is Sophia Lillis as Beverly Marsh. She's amazing. Her character is strong, but vulnerable. If Bill is sort of the head of the Losers Club, Beverly is the heart. You've seen that shot in the trailer when all the blood comes out of the sink, and she has a moment in the aftermath of that sequence which was just stunning. I was so impressed. I think she's an actress to really keep your eye on. Now we gotta talk about Bill Skarsgard. I think a lot of us, if we're being honest, we can say that the 90s miniseries has not aged well. I tried rewatching it a little while ago. I couldn't make it very far. However, I think we would most of us agree that Tim Curry was really good. He still is. I stand by that. But there's a new clown in town. Bill Skarsgard kills it. I was really kind of worried from looking at the trailers that Pennywise was going to be all menace all the time. Now, of course, he should be menacing. But in the book, sometimes he's childlike, he's playful, he's funny. It's how he lures the kids in. Oh, they got it. They got it very, very well. And he manages to switch between these sort of different parts of his persona, like, effortlessly. His voice changes, his mannerisms change. It's fluid. So, is the movie scary? Well, I think for a lot of people, it's going to be really scary. For a smaller group of people, it's going to be like traumatically scary. For me, I didn't find it all that scary. I don't blame the movie for this. I think there are a couple of reasons for it. One, I've read the book a bunch of times. And while the movie does change a bunch of things from the book, and more on that later, I did have a pretty good idea of what was coming up, so I was prepared for it. Also, I'm a big fan of horror movies, and I think over the years I've become somewhat more desensitized. However, I did still get a few really good scares out of it, and it's not just jump scares, thankfully. But I did get a few really good scares out of it, and it made me feel uncomfortable quite a bit of the time. So now let's talk about the bad, because I do have some issues with this film. I think you can tell by now that I loved this flick, but I took some issues with it. The first being, there's a thing that they do with Pennywise. And it's very similar to how it's described in the book, but it's like a little bit over the top for me. The CG is kind of dodgy, and I think if they just pulled it back a little bit, it would have worked better. Also, there are a couple of characters in the Losers Club who are a little underdeveloped, specifically Stan and Mike. And it's not that they're bad. The actors both do a really good job of the material that they are given, but the other characters in the Losers Club get a little bit more backstory, we get a little bit more development, so it felt a little uneven. Finally, there's a scene where they all go swimming in this quarry. This is before Mike joins the group, but so the 6 of them go swimming in the quarry, and they're all just in tighty whities, and Bev's wearing a bra as well. And then they're sitting out on the rocks and drying off and chatting and whatever. And they're all just still in their underwear, and it just kind of goes on, and it's like, this is a little weird. This is a little much. But even more than it made me kind of uncomfortable, I absolutely did not buy it with Ben's character. Ben is a chubby kid, and in the book, he's like pretty self-conscious about his weight. And he's also in love with Bev, and she's lying there in her underwear. There's no way he's comfortable with his shirt off. There's no way. In the book, he's always wearing baggy sweatshirts to cover up his gut, and there's a scene where they're building a dam and he's got his shirt off because he's sweating, then she shows up and he quickly throws it on. So yeah, I didn't buy that at all. But really, those are my only quibbles. It was such a good movie. Now, like I said, they did change a bunch of things from the book. And sometimes that's okay, and sometimes that's really bad. Under the Dome comes to mind, #BlunderTheDome. Here, yeah, they made some changes, some things they couldn't do, or what have you, because the book is, like, really nasty. And this movie is also very nasty. It earns its hard R. But they made some changes, and you know what? I was perfectly fine with all of them because they were absolutely true to the spirit of the book. What more can I ask for? Oh, and that scene from the book? You know what scene I'm talking about. Yeah, don't worry, it's not in the movie. Thankfully. Probably shouldn't have been in the book. So those are my thoughts on it. I absolutely loved the film. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give it. And I think I'm going to give it a out of 10. And now I want to know, what do you guys think? Have you seen it? Are you looking forward to seeing it? What did you think of it if you did see it? Will Tim Curry always be your Pennywise the Dancing Clown? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below and let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not click that subscribe button at the bottom right of your screen for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, movie news, and lots of other fun stuff. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.